Hey, this is Chris, keeping it real. Got a book review for you today. Adrenalized by Phil Collen, who is a guitarist for the band Def Leppard. You know, back in 1983, I was working my very first real construction job down at the state fairgrounds. We were building the horse stables. And I think that's called the James B. Hunt Arena now, or something like that. So yeah, it was 1983, and that record was super hot. I mean, it was like, wow, this is really good stuff. And it had a lot of staying power. I think it stayed on the charts for several months. But it was a little bit different from everything else that had come before it. I mean, it was really striking the way they played their music, and of course, the singer's pretty good. And so, but anyway, so this is the. Phil Collen was a guitarist on that album. The guy who came before him got fired, and so right on the eve of making that album, he was hired on. And so, so there began his career with Def Leppard, which is still there today. So the book itself is really not very good. I mean, I expected when Lee got it for me. It was $1 somewhere on a table. I don't know if it was like at a a thrift store or something like that. She picked it up for me, and so I started reading it. I expected to get some kind of insight, into what it was like to be in Def Leppard, and what I really got instead was just really a thumbnail sketch of his career. I mean, it was there's no real in-depth explanation of anything that happened. I mean, I think the poor guy who's, the drummer who got his arm ripped off in a car crash. I mean, I think they spent like 10 pages out of the whole book talking about him, and then everything was fine. And then, the other guitarist died of alcoholism, alcohol poisoning, or whatever. And, about the same treatment. It's like, you guys were supposedly were best friends, and there really is no depth to anything the guy writes. I mean, basically, he learned how to play. He got his first guitar when he was 16. He learned how to play it. Was in a couple bands. He liked to put on makeup because that was that era, the glam era of David Bowie. He loves David Bowie. And ended up on Def Leppard. Drank like a fish every day until at some point he quit. But it doesn't really go into why he quit, or well, it goes a little bit into why he quit, but not. It's like, oh yeah, one day I just quit. He had several children by several women. And, it's just like the guy's kind of, I guess really maybe it's just Phil himself is just kind of a shallow kind of person. I don't know. But he had somebody help him write the book. I keep one guy saying it really doesn't matter. But, I finished the book after his little final rant about being a vegan, which, I thought, dude, don't you have something better to say than that? So like I said, there's a reason why I was able to read it one day. In fact, I read it in about 3 hours. I mean, it was that lightweight. And so, sometimes you get information from books, and sometimes you read it and you set the book down and you say, well, I didn't really learn anything that I didn't already know, that I could have gotten it off a Wikipedia article just as easily as I could have gotten it out of that book. So it's unfortunate that they didn't spend a little bit more time talking about, what it was really like. I don't know anything about their interpersonal relationships in the band members. I really don't. I mean, I don't know anything that I didn't already know. So, I think if you're going to write an autobiography of sorts, then you might want to just put in a little bit more detail. And longer, take some more time, and write a much better book. But he didn't, so that's it. And I'm finished, so I do not recommend the book. I would give it like 1.5 stars out of 5, just because it's just not well written, and there's no useful information in it. All right, that's it for this one. I've got another book review. I've read another book called Blind Man's Bluff, which is about all the secret stuff that the U.S. Navy and their submarine program was involved in, during post World War II and up through the Cold War and up through the Clinton administration. And that's about what time the book was published. So it is a rather old book, but it is very fascinating. So I will have that. I'd do it now, but I don't have the book, and so I can't give credit to the authors. And I want to be able to do that. All righty. Well, if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the section below, like and subscribe. We appreciate when you do. And we'll see you